Hello, this is the Liberation Mountain, part six, and this is a continuing interview that we have with God and saints in heaven, and this is an interview with someone in heaven who may not have been a Christian. I don't know. I don't find out who we're interviewing until I introduce Tolu. I hope you enjoy yourself today, and a big shout out to everyone who's listening. God loves you, and I hope you slowly find that out during the course of these conversations. God bless. You'll go.
Amen. Your introduction was too short, Matthew. I was expecting more. I'm only joking, Matthew. Just winding you up.
Yeah. Wind me
Oh,
up.
that's
Wind
what
me up
I'm
like
doing.
a clock and tick
Yeah.
tock, tick tock.
It says bang, 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 bang. Yeah. Welcome, Papa. Welcome, Jesus. Welcome, Holy Spirit, the inhabitants of heaven, June, and Bethany, and Diana, and of course, the inhabitants of the earth that are watching us. We welcome you all. So, who are we speaking to today? We will be speaking for the second time. We'll be speaking to Adolf Hitler.
Oh, okay.
Some people might not like it,
Well, they can't be
but
judged because it may take a while to develop kindness and lack of judgment. We as humans still judge people, so can't really be blamed for that. But I I appreciate the fact that you brought him back. Hello, Hitler. How are you? I'm pretty good. It's good to be back on a platform. Good to be given an opportunity to speak, especially to the people of heaven, and so many of them have embraced me, and
oh,
some of them haven't. But I can understand that. I killed a lot of people. I did a lot of harm on earth. I'm just totally surprised, totally grateful that God forgave me and God gave me a second chance. And I hope that this interview helps people understand that God is a forgiving God. He's an awesome God. My God is an awesome God. He reigns in heaven above. Uh,
you
and
sound like a Christian.
and that's a song Matthew knew when he was young, and he really is an awesome God, and he proves his awesomeness by forgiving the most wicked among
Mm,
us. And for you people on earth who think you've done things too bad and too wrong
wow.
and too terrible for God to forgive you, consider me uh, compared to yourself, and you'll find that you didn't do as near as bad as me, and you may be able
Wow.
to find a place to forgive yourself.
Wow. You sound like Christian there when you said, my God is an awesome God. You just took me to church for a while, for some few minutes. And today is Sunday. So God will be hearing a lot of that today. You said something that God is able to forgive you irrespective of what you've done, especially in your own case. Is it true that to whom much has been forgiven, I hope I quote it right, loves much? Do you now love so much now? Do you love people extraordinarily, extravagantly?
It's what Jesus said to Mary Magdalene when she washed his feet. He
Yeah.
said, "He who has been forgiven much loves much."
Yeah.
Um, it's probably not so much directed at other people as directed at Jesus,
Wow.
who forgave you. And I would honestly do anything for Jesus. I'd go out of my way to change his life, and indeed coming on here and bearing my heart and soul in front of all these people here in heaven and all these people here on earth is my way of contributing to his story and his love. The people on earth weren't here for the first time I spoke, and so I hope my answers and what I have to say and your answers provoke your questions provoke good answers.
Wow. You know, Adolf, looking back now, how do you fully understand the impact of your decisions on millions of lives?
Um, where I am, I understood that I had a role to play, and it was a devastating role, and
Mm.
it affected millions of people. And but I was aiming to conquer the world. I was aiming to take over
Wow.
control of the world, and so I tried my level best and to do all sorts of strategy to accomplish that task. And I was stopped by other forces, or else I would have continued, and it would have been devastating. So I'm not saying I was happy with the job that I did. I can see in retrospect with 2020 vision, I can look back and say what I was done was terrible. What I did was terrible. But, the fact that I can be forgiven and loved and accepted and embraced by God just shows how much more powerful God is and his ways are perfect and beyond understanding. Some people may look at this and listen to this and acknowledge that this is me, Hitler, being interviewed, and some of the people on earth would be struggling with the fact that I've been forgiven and let out of hell. And that's just testament to the fact that God can love you despite what you do. And I hope that me speaking today isn't too much of an offence to people, but they can grasp that God reaches right down. He's got a
Mm.
big reach, and he reaches right down into the depths of hell, and places his hand underneath people and pulls them up out of there into freedom. So uh, I want you to understand if are you doing bad things or you've been used to do bad things, that God can
Mm.
forgive anything and God can restore you and put you in a wonderful place. I'm aware that many of you, like most of you, have been asking God questions, and you can feel free as I speak to ask him questions about me and get his feedback on me. I'm not ashamed or afraid of your questions, and yeah. So ask away.
Wow. Thank you. While you were in power, how did you see yourself?
I saw myself as really powerful and
Mm.
someone to be obeyed and listened to. I had a lot of authority and prestige and a lot of power, and I expected people to do what I said. You may look at my life and say I was on the wrong trajectory and I went the wrong way. But as a military leader and someone who had clear goals and clear uh, dreams in my sights, I certainly operated with power and precision
Hmm.
to accomplish what I wanted to accomplish.
Wow, what you wanted to accomplish. That's interesting, isn't it? Did you believe you were deceived, or did you knowingly pursue a destructive path?
I didn't believe either. I didn't believe that I was deceived, and I didn't believe I was on a destructive path. I was doing
Wow.
what I felt the need to do to take over power and bring in a new order of living and bring in a new power structure, bring in a new people and have the German people rule and reign in the world and my army to take control. So I did it with all my head together and all my faculties in the right place. And some say it was evil. Some say what I did was evil. If a general can be blamed for going to war, if
Mm.
going to war is a bad thing, then there's a lot of people who've done bad things.
Wow. 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 Did you think that was part of the price of being in power to make decisions that you not necessarily aligned to? Or were you
Uh,
aligned?
I was aligned to everything I was doing. I had a purpose. Matthews read that I wanted to make a super race, like a race of people who I believed were the best sort of people in the world, and I fought and wiped people out according to that agenda. Some people, most people assumed that I was evil and I was destructive, and I certainly studied the occult and had things to do with the occult. It's been heard and read about, but I powered on and did what I believe was my purpose and according to my agenda. So, many people believe that I was evil, and in hindsight, I probably was. I believe I was, but that's an opinion in hindsight, not in the heat of the battle.
Wow. That's interesting. Not at the heat of the battle. That's in hindsight. Wow. So will you say you've taken a let me rephrase it. You've truly taken responsibility for your actions now.
Yeah, I'm aware I did wrong. I'm aware I was on the wrong side of history. I'm aware that people didn't like what I did. I'm aware that people thought what I did was evil. But I'm aware that people who write history write their own opinions into history. And
Yeah.
I'm aware that people find it convenient to call me evil. The United States and Britain have been in the center of a lot of wars and done a lot of destructive harm and killed millions of people themselves. And shouldn't be leveled out as the baddie while they are considered the good guys. They, American money financed my war
Mm.
machine. American
Wow.
banks finance my war machine. Why doesn't that come to the public? Why doesn't the public know that that's happened?
Wow.
You know, everything can be weighed in hindsight, but in the heat of war, in the heat of battle, things are different. And whilst I admit that I did wrong and what I did is perceived as wrong, at no time did I perceive what I was doing was wrong. And so, how can I be blamed for something that I didn't believe was wrong?
Wow, that's an interesting one. How can you be blamed for things that you did that you didn't think was wrong? That's interesting. Why didn't you think killing people was wrong?
That's war. That's what countries engage in. You can't just can't just look at my regime and the Nazi regime and say that's evil and it's wrong. It's a world war. It's a war where the whole world was at war. If I'm singled out and my people are singled out as the only ones doing evil, and then everyone else fighting the war was on the good side and all goodies. Let me assure you, the people who run this world and the people who run the banks, who loan all the armies the money, and
Mm.
loan the countries money to rebuild their nations, they're not clean. They're evil too. And so I was just a pawn in a game, and the game was
Wow.
war. And so
Wow.
I I admit I've admitted it that I did wrong, but different to what people believe or want to believe. I believed I was doing right.
Yeah, I think when I look at yourself and Epstein, will you say you were both pawn in the game? You were both used? Because interestingly, you're both used by the same bunch of people. Well, you attacked the Jews. Epstein says a lot of things he did was being directed by the Jews. So do you think because you killed mainly Jews, that's why you've been castigated?
That's one of the reasons. It's just the people who write history, the people who write the history books, get to decide who's the right and wrong, and they have their political twist. They have their political reasons for saying what they do. Um, Matthew doesn't know a tremendous amount about me. All he can do is trust my words and trust me. I, I wasn't really taking orders from anyone else,
Wow.
and everyone in war is manipulated by the banks and controlled by the banks, but. I had my own autonomy, I had my own authority, and all the supposed evil, what you see as evil that was done solidly and viciously and directly by me.
Wow. So how are you now? Have you got a soft heart now?
The people of heaven have been really good to me. Some people have been really kind, especially the spiritually elite in heaven, respect me and love me, and meeting God and meeting Jesus and meeting the saints of the Bible. They've essentially poured love into me, but how long is the past going to be the past? How long am
Mm.
I going to be known for what I did? It's just like Jesus. Everyone talked about Jesus and his cross, and talk about a 2,000-year-old past, but don't talk
So
about his life and don't talk about the teachings that he brought forth or the life he lived. All they talk about is the cross, and all they talk about in my life is the war and the war that I entered in. They don't know any history of my early life. They They don't understand who I was as a person. They don't understand my good points, my leadership skills. They
Mm.
don't talk about anything but the war, and they keep on bringing up the war. And it's a lot of years have passed since then. It shouldn't be a shadow over me. But just like Judas Iscariot, there's always a shadow over his life, and a certain some of us that people won't displace from their mind and just have bad feelings about, and won't allow us to explain ourselves or have a voice outside
Mm.
of that past. So people treat me well, but a lot of people don't really treat me well. They consider me as some villain, some evil person who ruled. And I want to make it clear that I acted according to my convictions. So
Wow.
you may judge my convictions as evil, but you know, as far as I'm concerned, the American government is evil, and they
Yeah.
uh, they displace leaders and countries all the time, and their CIA goes in and causes wars and does skirmishes and replaces governments and does wickedness all around the world. But no one looks at them as evil.
Mm.
They just have good press.
Wow. And you never had good press? I'm just a
Well,
little bit okay there.
people who write the press don't seem to have liked me.
Oh, wow. So the,
There's people who write well about me and my regime, but they're not widely publicised.
wow, I got you. So how do you see yourself now in heaven?
Well, uh, I'm trying to uh, be accepted.
Hmm. How long will you continue to try to be accepted?
Well, I've
Like,
got no choice, I can't really go back to hell, and there's no other thing, Sometimes, with the way I'm treated, I'd still be treated that way in paradise. So, I've even thought of going out to paradise, but people in paradise would know me too if I introduced myself. So I feel like Tiffany. You know,
hmm,
Tiffany's story gave me a lot of hope. She
hmm,
was rejected for years by the Christians and people in heaven, and it's hard because heaven is full of judgmental people, and it's
hmm,
hard to, you know, uh, you can say you can give your life to Jesus and be baptized and be a new person, and Scripture says you're a new creation, but not in front of these people. Like, not among the people of heaven. I'm not a new creation. I'm the old villain, and
wow,
I find comfort in some friends in the elite circles, and interestingly enough, the elite that came out of hell a few weeks ago,
yeah,
they embrace me and accept me. They've read the books about me that weren't widely publicized, and they understand me at a deeper level. But as for the populace of heaven, they don't really understand that, in life we make choices depending on who we are and what we've been brought up to believe. And if someone convincingly follows what they believe and everyone count that as evil, what can you do? At least I was convinced. At least I made an impact. At least I did something. Most
hmm,
people don't do anything, and most people don't follow their convictions, and most people in this world don't make a mark on anything. At least I made a mark on something, but it seems to be the wrong mark and not an accepted mark, and so people disdain who I am, and they treat me and judge me. But I was brought up by I learned what I did, I believed what I did, and I did what I believe, and I followed my convictions. And for that, I might as well be in hell because I'll be forever judged here in heaven.
No, you don't have to be in hell. The question is, why do you care about whether people like you or not? Why do you care so much? Why do you want people's love or acceptance?
Everyone cares, It's just the look in people's eyes that you get when they find out who you are, the people that judge you, and it's hard. It's hard to live in an environment where 90% of the people don't accept you, and it's hard to get by and go down to shops and people recognize you, and yeah, you can't. It's hard to survive when you've got to be out in public. And yeah, perhaps you're hearing my sadness is coming through. It's certainly made Matthew very sad, and but what can I do? That's just perhaps the people listening here on earth can understand the feeling of getting close to a person and confessing to them that you're a witch, and seeing the judgment, seeing the backing away from you. So perhaps a lot of you understand that. I guess my message is to you that it doesn't matter what you've
Mm.
done. It doesn't matter what you've been through. It doesn't matter who you were. God loves you and accepts you, and you could have it a whole lot worse in heaven than
Mm.
what you're going to have. You could be like me, and I'd really love to do a miracle. I'd really love to change people's hearts. But what can I do? I can only speak from my heart. I can only speak honestly. I could lie to you. I could, say that someone forced me and I was under pressure and they threatened my family, and they said do this or else we'll kill all your family and your relatives. I could make up a lie and lie, but I followed my convictions. In hindsight, all of yous are looking at this through hindsight. In
Mm.
hindsight, I did what the world perceives as wrong, but I followed my convictions and I did the job I was sent to do.
Wow. Were you the only president or prime minister, I don't know what you were called then, that's done this, that's killed many people through war? Are you the only person that will ever do that in
There,
heaven?
there's other people in heaven who done bad things, but yeah, I'm not going to mention and call them out name by name, and uh, yeah,
I'm just
have.
thinking out loud because I'm thinking what makes yours special? What makes yours peculiar that people are reluctant to accept you or to forgive you?
Just the reputation that the media made about me,
Mm.
just what people think about me.
Wow. It's sad. It's sad that 90% still don't accept you. And just like what you said, even if you go to paradise, it's still going to be the same situation, isn't it? It's still the same bunch of people. You just change location. So I would say you're better off in heaven, and hopefully with time, people's heart is going to heal towards you.
Yeah, I'm
Because
thinking
I
of
get
growing, introducing myself to
as someone
Tiffany
else.
and Victoria and
Oh,
Angelica, and starting to work with them and winning over the people in their mountain. And Tiffany says, "You're welcome to do that, Victoria and Angelica." So it's a really good idea. Let's become friends and let's work together. So,
yeah.
So that was a good thought that came into my mind, and I'm happy because I really love those ladies from what I've seen. And perhaps if I work with them and work with their people will come to understand me, especially people who grew up in witchcraft would and
Absolutely.
a lot of atheists that they're working with would understand me too. So yeah.
Yeah. And the Liberation Mountain. You need to go visit them on that mountain as well. Because no religion is for everyone. That's what the mountain is all about, isn't it? Everyone is welcome. So maybe going to that mountain as well can bring a lot of healing to people's heart. You know, what illusion about yourself have been stripped away now?
I'm not sure if any have. Uh,
Hmm,
uh,
that's
I uh,
sad.
I think you know I think people in heaven have been under the spell that the West cast on them.
Wow.
I'd really love someone to come forward who Matthew hasn't done enough reading, but really be good to have Epstein speak on how evil the West is.
Hmm. Wow. But I guess Matty needs to have read about those things, isn't it?
Yeah.
For Epstein to be able to communicate that through him. But I understand what you mean, that there's so many evil that's happening every day in, day out. For instance, when we look at COVID, I believe COVID was caused by the elite. Did you believe that, Matthew? There was something about COVID. It wasn't natural. Did you ever think about
Yeah.
to reduce the population of the earth, isn't it? So, but we didn't know who was behind that. So I guess the only difference is in your own case, people knew you were the one behind it. And that's why the attack is being directed to you. Even in heaven, you still feel strange. I hope with time things will be okay. What is the hardest truth you've had to accept about who you were?
Um, this never happened before, but uh, Hitler doesn't want to speak anymore
Ah, oh, why?
because he has got no more words to say. He'll try and forge a friendship with Tiffany and
And
Victoria,
then from there,
and see how his life goes from there. Perhaps
oh,
when you feel right, you can pick it up in the future. Maybe you can ask Tiffany, is he ready to speak again? But
yeah, that's
he's,
okay. That's okay. At least we're able to achieve something, which is being able to have this idea of speaking with Tiffany. And they will understand your pain so much because Tiffany has faced a lot of rejections as well. So thank you so much for coming on board. I know it's really sad. And I wanted the people of the earth to hear from you and to be blessed. And I hope they've been blessed by the message. Even though it was really short, Angelica, what do you think? Were you ministered to in any
Yeah,
way?
I can understand. I could feel his pain, and
Mm.
uh, and it seemed to just be dredging up his past, and it wasn't a subject that he was really comfortable speaking on. But that's all people know about. They don't know that he's a poet. They don't know that he's a great artist. They don't know
Wow.
that he collects art and he's an artist himself. There's so many good points to him, and there's so many lies that have been propagated against him and his regime, and I can
Wow.
understand why he didn't want to keep on talking.
Which is, I are you close to? Oh, sorry, I won't use the word close. Have you read about Adolf Hitler in the past?
I just know he's passed, and people in witchcraft have a different rendering, a different understanding of who Hitler was.
Wow. And what do you think? from listening to him now.
Yeah, he held on as long as he could to give the interview some length, but he wasn't happy during the interview, and he stayed on because he respected you and he loved what you're doing. But maybe it may be another 6 months or a year before he's ready to speak again.
That's good. That's good. At least I I want people to be able to hear from him, and that hopefully gives people more opportunity to forgive him
Yeah.
and to see him from a different light. Matthew, I'm going to switch to another person if you're still okay to continue.
Who you going to switch to? I was sort of
You still think you've got early pass? No, sorry. I'm going to switch to the lady who was caught in adultery in the Bible.
right.
Yeah. If she's willing to speak or if she wants to speak.
Why don't you do a whole new one on her tomorrow?
No, Matthew, no, I'm doing it today. We're not even up to an hour that we started. So don't think you're gonna escape. So we're doing it today. So is she willing to speak?
She said she'll speak tomorrow.
No. She did not say she will speak tomorrow, Matthew. She's speaking now. You
Yeah.
thought you
Okay. What's her name?
I don't know her name. The Bible just says the woman that was caught in adultery. You can ask what her name is.
You can ask.
Well, I'm asking, what is it? What is your name?
No, you ask. You ask Bethany.
Yeah, you're not giving me test. Go to the toilet, come back. We don't need to know her name. Just
I
like we
don't
said.
need to go to the toilet.
Oh, I thought you wanted coffee or
I'll go to the
something.
toilet. Yeah.
Okay, Matthew.
What? I thought we are going to have an early mark today.
No, no, Matthew. Sorry. No easy peasy. Welcome back, Matthew. So we're just going to call her the lady caught in adultery. We don't know her name. So, but hopefully, the people listening on that can resonate with our story. So, hello, how are you doing?
Hello. I it was quite a surprise today.
Why are you surprised?
Well, I didn't know I was going to be called on.
Yeah, so you were caught unaware.
Yeah.
And are you happy to speak? Because I'm not going to force you to do that if you don't want to.
Well, it's more about Matthew. Matthew really wants to shut it down now.
No, it's not about Matthew. It's about you. Matthew needs to be disciplined. This is time to work, not to be jumping for because we've done 30 minutes. You think you're done for today. No, we've only just started, Matthew. So don't mind Matthew. He just likes to play, have fun, watch TV. So your story is often told in a single moment. But who were you before that day?
I'm not ready to do it, Tolu.
No, Matthew, you're doing it.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to do it.
You're not going to do it.
No.
Okay. Don't do it, Matthew.